IGN's Comic-Con coverage brought to you by Death Race. In theaters August 22nd.
It was really cool to be here last year and just see the response that we had, even from nobody really knowing the show yet, and just screening the pilot episode and people really digging it. And now, nice to be invited back.
Were you here during that screening? You watched that screening last year, right?
Yeah.
Right. I thought you were. I thought you did.
Well, you guys got an upgrade to a bigger room this year, so you know you're doing something right.
Yeah. What was that?
That will be fine.
I just hope that it's. There's nothing. I'm not going to say there's nothing worse because, you could die. But it's always that weird thing of you get the bigger space, but then what if it's only a quarter full or whatever? You're like,
I'd rather die, actually.
What? Now that we're talking about it,
worse, but...
put me in a coffin. But no, I hope it's nice that we got the bigger room, and I hope that it's full of people that really dig the show and that we can answer some cool questions for, and that they like the highlight reel we got for them. It should be pretty cool.
So pitch me season 2. What's to come for you guys as we pick up with them a few months later?
Joshua.
Where we left off was Chuck might be obsolete.
Oh, really? Well, the government's building the new intersect. We kind of set that up last year, and because clearly they don't trust the idea of all the government secrets being in the head of a numbnuts like myself. And no,
stop
no.
That.
Okay, I'm continuing. So they're hard at work building the new intersect, and once it is built, then they don't need me anymore. They don't really want me around, and it's going to be up to Mr. Adam Baldwin to eliminate the asset, as it were. But then the show wouldn't be called Chuck. So I
Shut up.
But it's great. I think that. What I appreciate is that we haven't veered from what made the show what it is, which is just a great, it's where comedy and action, for the most part, it's those two biggest, genres colliding, and then you throw in the mystery and the romance and the drama and all that, and that's the world of Chuck, and they're just taking that and then just building on top of the core of the show, and I think it's great. I mean, we're in episode 6 already, and we've had great guest stars and some great plots and stunts, and I think the people who were fans of the show last year won't be disappointed.
So how's Morgan's life going? His love life certainly had improved when last we saw him.
Yes, and it going from 0 to
1.
right. Right, exactly. No, it's good. It's good, and it's a little bit fleshed out more, and it's definitely a little bit more of it's a little more maturity, and or his attempt at maturity, and he kind of sort of takes the reins at the Buy More a little bit, although he doesn't actually put himself in any place of power behind the scenes. He kind of says nah, but the man behind the curtain maybe a little bit,
And can you talk about Tony Hale's new character, speaking of taking the reins?
Great. He's a freaking genius. Tony Hale's a genius, if you didn't already know that. And maybe the sweetest man in the world. He plays this character, Emmet Milbarge, who was sent by Buy More Corporate to basically take a closer look at this delinquent branch of Buy More, because let's be honest, it's pretty delinquent. It's so delinquent.
Again, if you haven't noticed, not the tightest ship at the Buy More.
No. But a good ship.
Yes.
Lollipop.
But
never mind. Shirley Temple reference. I don't know why I went there. We're at Comic-Con. Pick up the latest Shirley Temple comic. It's fantastic. It's more of a graphic novel. Anyway, where were we? But I digress. So he comes in to the Buy More, and he's really, really odd. He takes work very, very seriously, and there's some weird
he's an efficiency expert. So that's what. So it's this.
Yeah.
So that's what helps. It's just you imagine not a piece of lint is in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. You know what I mean?
And he sees Chuck at first. He sees me as we could be good friends, and we have so much in common. But the more the spy world tears me out of the store when I'm supposed to be there or taking care of something, the more he sees me as being his nemesis. And so it really builds that up well. And, unfortunately last year we lost C.S. Lee, who played Harry Tang, and so therefore lost the nemesis in the Buy More like that. And Vic Sahai, who plays Lester, is a little bit of a nemesis, but because he's one of the nerd herders and he's so good at being that kind of half friend, half bad guy, So I think that they really wanted to find a character to bring in to be like the true, just like nemesis to everyone, including Big Mike, like Emmett's even like. Right now they're kind of friends, but eventually it's going to end up getting very sticky, I would imagine.